what I did was ask you about, start off with, about your mom and dad, okay? What was your mother's name?
Stella.
Stella?
Stella.
Okay. And can you, how about your grandmother's name?
Which one? I had, you know.
Okay, both grandmothers.
Well, one of them, my grandmother, was named Serena. Something like that. It was a funny name. That's my dad's mother. It was Serena.
The last name.
And my mother's, her name was Nancy, I believe.
What was her last name?
Maynard.
Maynard.
Yeah, my mother was Maynard.
And your dad's mother's last name?
Boyd.
Boyd?
Mm-hmm. Before she married my grandfather.
Your grandmother's grandfathers, and grandfathers, you knew all them?
No, I can remember my mother's dad, but I can't remember my dad's dad, because he died before he was born. See, my people came from Ireland and from Scotland. My grandpa, he was a Scotchman, and he married my grandma, who was Irish, you know. They were close together, of course, there. And before they came over here. Now that was my great-grandmother and grandfather.
And your grandmothers, they were already here in the United States. But your great-grandparents were...
Yeah, over there. Yeah, they come over here, though. And most of their kids were born over here. See, they married over there. I don't think they had kids who had to live over there, but they come over here. I think landed in New York somewhere in there. And there for a long time, came to St. Louis and lived in there a long time.
Well, then your mother, your mother's mother, you can remember about your mother's dad or your dad's dad. You don't remember, they were dead before you were.
My mother's dad wasn't. I can remember him. Yeah.
Did you talk to him?
Grandpa Martin. Oh, yeah, I have. He was small, but I have talked to him. And my dad.
How old did he live?
Well, he just lived to be more than, I think, about 70 when he died. Yeah.
Now, was he, let's see, that would have put him, he about Civil War, wasn't he? Was he around the during Civil War?
Probably was.
He never ever talked about it?
Not too much. I was too small. I can remember him, see, but I can't remember much what he said back then. But my other grandpa, my dad's dad, he died before I was born.
Yeah. Now, how old was he when he died?
Probably up around 60 or 70.
Well, now, how many brothers and sisters you have?
I have one brother, and he got killed in 29 or 30. I'm not sure which, 29 or 30. He got killed on a railroad track with a train. Killed. That was the only brother I ever had that was lived, you know. Yeah. I had another brother that was born, but he was maybe lived an hour or two.
No sister?
Oh, yeah, I had plenty of sisters.
How many sisters?
Not plenty of them either. Let's see, I've got, well, 3 sisters I know of, and there's 2 of them still left. They live in California now. Both of them.
Now, where did you fall at as far as the echelon of brothers and sisters? You in the middle, or?
No, I've got one sister younger than me. The one lives out in California. One of them. I just like to put the ice on now.
Yeah. See, what happens is that battery, I lost the power. I can't figure out, the thing's eating up batteries. These batteries are expensive too. They
all grounded somewhere.
Something's happening inside of there to make it run down. Let's see, we're back to, I have to go back now. I have to remember where we're talking about your brothers and sisters.
Yeah. One lives in California.
You got
2 of them.
So you had 3 sisters, right?
Yeah.
1 brother, and you were you were right in the middle. You were like the middle.
Almost. my brother and 2 sisters and me.
Yeah, so there's just about in the middle there. And your brother died when he was about 30.
Yeah.
Now your other sisters now, they all living?
No, there's only 2 of them. One of them dead. One lived at Canova's dead. She was next older than me.
Yeah. Now how old was she when she died?
Let's see now. She's 6 years older than I am. And she's been dead about, I expect about 10 years.
When she died?
Don't know. No, they didn't even know whenever Undertaker told me they didn't know why. He said there wasn't no point. There wasn't no sense in her dying because there wasn't nothing wrong with her.
Yeah.
First they knew.
Now where'd she live in?
She was Canova. On 15th Street in Canova.
Hey, your other sister lives out in California now?
Yeah.
Where out in California?
One lives in, I don't know if I can think of the names of them places or not. They don't live right in Los Angeles. It's south there, you know. One of them sister lives out in the desert out there. I can't think of that place.
When's the last time you seen them?
I seen my younger sister, not been too awful long ago. She's back this summer. But my other sister, I haven't seen her in about a year now, over a year, about a year.
Let's see. Now, how long did you go to school?
But 8th grade.
And then you had to go to work.
And had to quit and go to work to keep the family.
What kind of jobs did you do then?
Odd job, just anything I pick up. You know.
What kind of pay did you get?
Very little.
Can you remember how much money you made?
I worked for $1 a day. And around the farm, you know what that tobacco thing was back there.
How'd you get to work? Walked.
Yeah, walked.
See, these people are gonna want to know about that. Well, how about did you take the horse to work? Do you have horses or anything?
Yeah, we had horse and mule. And when I was big enough, I rode a bicycle. Most of the time, you know, where I could.
What about a car? When's the first time you had a car?
Let's see, 1947, I think it was. That's when I got my driver's license in 1947.
What kind of car did you have?
Had a 34 Plymouth.
See, how old would you have been then?
That's 1947. I'm 75 now.
When you were born?
1915.
15 and 47, then it'd been 32.
Yeah, that's very old.
32 years old.
Yeah. But I know that's the year I got hurt tonight. And got bashed up, almost killed. Slate on me. I was working at Apex, Kentucky then. Slate on me.
So you didn't have your first car was when you were 32, and that was in 1947, right after the war. 47. How about your dad? Did he have a car?
No, he never even knew how to drive one. Never did drive.
Okay, then you hit Marthy. First of all, I asked you about your girlfriend. Do you have any girlfriends at all other than Marthy?
Not supposed to tell you what this is. You're in yonder girlfriend. If I start going with her, of course, we grew up together almost. What I say.
She lived next door to you.
Yeah, for a long time. While we was going to school, she lived next, not very far, maybe 102 yards.
What kind of your dates? What was your dates then?
Go to church. That's the only place we went. Play records on the phonograph. We had a crank up kind of phonograph, you know.
What kind of records you listen to?
Mostly Bluebird records. Religious, mostly. Because they were religious. Her mother was a religious person. She wasn't out too much jumping and played around, you know. And my people was all religious. I was the old black sheep of the bunch. A whole bunch of them.
So then you married Marthy when you were 19?
Yeah, and she was like a little bit, 16. I'm 15. She was hardly 15. I mean, hardly 16. She was 15. And they wouldn't sell nobody no license in West Virginia. That's where we lived. You couldn't buy a marriage license with or without consent at 16. You had to be more than 16, you know. So we went to Kentucky. Or I went over and got the license.
Now, did you have, was there any,
It's one. Like burn.
yeah. Let's see, what I forgot what I was going to say. All right, you always lived in Kentucky, your whole family, I mean, your dad, when you always, West Virginia, Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
Now, where's the places that you lived at? That you can remember living at in Kentucky? From the time you were...
When I was little?
Yeah, from the time you were real little all the way up.
Job, Kentucky. That was the name of the place. That was the only place I knew of. That was in Martin County. We came to Chattanooga, West Virginia. That's pretty close to Weeks, and I don't even know where it's at or not.
Yeah,
Pretty close to it. It's about 5 miles more south of it. Or west of it, not south, west. It wouldn't be a ferry. West of that.
and then...
We moved to Chattanooga. That's before I married out. We went to what's called Pigeon Creek. Around my dad got a job over at Puritan Mines, name of Puritan, and we moved over there and stayed a while, not too long, till we come back to our home. And a little place called Goodman, above Chattanooga.
And then what?
Chattanooga was post office. That's where we had to go get our mail. That place I lived at was Goodman on a hill right up there.
See, you lived at a farm. You lived out on a farm one time?
Yeah, in Kentucky we did, down in Martin County, going to ride barns. Didn't live not too long, up until about, see, we left there in 1920. And came to Chattanooga. That's where he was working, and he'd come up there, he'd see him, went to work fire at that mine. Moved us up there.
And where'd you live at when you first met Mark?
Goodman, on the hill, she did too.
All right, now, after you got married, where'd you live then?
We built us a house right beside my dad's.
But at first you lived with your dad, or?
We lived about a month with him up there while I was building that little small house. They had a two-story house, my dad did. So we lived up stairs there, up over them for a while, until we got that house built. But before we started housekeeping, we stayed with Dad and Mother for about a month before we started, moved up over top of them, got started, cleaned up, got that place fixed up, and moved to Paris. And we lived there a while, and then we moved out of there and moved to Goodman, a place called Goodman Holler. At Goodman, where we lived, but Goodman Holler, then we moved up.
Now, when you got married, how many children did you and Marthy plan on having?
Just plan on none of them.
It wasn't. In other words, you didn't think, well, I'll just have 3 or 4 kids or anything like that.
We didn't know if we were going to have any or not. But when we got started, couldn't get stopped.
Couldn't stop them then.
Couldn't get stopped.
I thought maybe you'd say, well, I thought we were only going to have 3 or 4. We ended up having 14.
We weren't planning on none of them.
So now when you first got married, where did you work at?
Odd jobs, worked for myself.
When did you start working in the mines?
Let's see. Before I started working in the mines, I worked at a handle factory. and below Williamson, I think it called it West Williamson. I worked there for several years there, and I couldn't make too much there. I couldn't make very much money there. So I went to Olive Creek. I went to work at Olive Creek. I didn't move there, you see. I just went over there and drive back and forth with the guy I was riding with. He was working over there. I went with him. And my uncle, he was working over there. Young man, my mother's brother. We all rode with another guy who worked over there. Worked over there all about 6 or 8 months ago. Couldn't get no house. Too hard going back riding. Spur had to ride spur and get no sleep. Had to start about 1 o'clock in the day to get there in time to go to work at 4. We riding over there and change clothes over there, take clothes with us. And left there then and come back to N&W. Mines called N&W. I didn't know it belonged to N&W, of course, but it's mines. It's the mouth of Pond Creek. And I worked there for, I don't know, a year, I guess, maybe over. And when I quit working there then, I went to, but as I told you, I worked at the Hamel factory first, I think it was Hamel, before I went to the mines. Quit that, went to Pigeon Creek, and then another place called Buffalo up in Chattaway Hollow there. I worked there for a while. And worked at a lot of little mines around there. You know, whenever we worked out at Bayflex, worked the whole thing out. It wasn't more cold work. And couldn't get no work nowhere else, no big mines, because I was up then till when you got up 45, they wouldn't hire you. You know, around mines, they had a union. So I went to work in these scab mines. I had to try to keep my family.
Now, what you do normally? What you do in the mines?
I could do anything in this world. I could run a machine man. I hooked on the machines. I run the motor.
Well, what they do, you know,
brake.
I mean, when you talk about the mines, most people don't know anything about it. When you talk about running a machine, what does the machine do?
Cut coal.
You get the coal out.
Yeah, but the place is clean when you go into it. I've had to pull a machine up to the road kill, set with a jack against it, and he'd pull that machine off the face, and I sunk that machine up from the coal, went in there about 6 foot, I guess, 6 foot cutter bar, and cut it across, fold it back, pull the machine back, out of the way, and then me and my buddy would drill it. I had a helper there, and him would drill the coal, and shoot the coal down, and come back and load that coal on a pan line. You got a pan line there, or chain line rather, and you take that coal outside, just get along with it.
When you're drilling it and cutting it and everything you're talking about, you're getting a lot of dust in there.
Oh, I got 3 I'm wearing just right now.
Yeah. But they didn't have any at that time. Nobody wore anything.
No, nothing. No, they didn't acting it down or anything. You just had to breathe it off. That's why I got so much of my lungs. You know, there's a lot of people that did work trying to get that black lung. They had a hard time of it. But the first time I went, I got it because my lungs full of it.
Now, did you ever try did you ever have a handkerchief or anything over your face? Or nothing.
No, you couldn't hardly.
It had to be the mine, didn't it? I mean, with all that digging and grinding and breaking up coal and stuff. It had to be dust just in there all the time, didn't it?
Yeah. We had a fan, you know, on the outside of the mines. It would blow. And I'd hit the dust on a little bit, you know, not that much. But you couldn't have breathed without it. You had to have that fan at home.
You started off, you worked union mines, right?
Yeah.
And then you got older, you couldn't work the union mines anymore.
After I got too old, yeah, they wouldn't hire me. See, now, actually past 45 then, they wouldn't hire you. No union mines.
Now you see you got hurt in the mine. Where'd that happen?
At Aflax. I got hurt there in 1947.
How'd that happen to you? How'd you get hurt?
Slate. Big piece of slate. I said a timber. I had said timber. I just made a pancake out of it. I had timber section. But it rode it off my back. He just hit me as it went. But that was plain enough. Because there was tons of that stuff. It broke my...
What, it just break loose in the mine and hit you? Or how did it happen?
No. You see, where we was working at there, the coal, they was pretty high coal. It was up down and always all down. I'd say around 7 foot and a half, 8 foot, up to the main top. Well, we drill that coal and shoot it. Then it had a scrim of rock in that. Maybe it was someplace to be 3 foot thick, right in the middle of the coal, went all the way across it. We'd get the coal out first, out from under that rock, timber it up. But that's what I was doing, see, I had to do that. I timbered up and got back under getting that coal like in ready to start shooting the rock down and roll it all the way. And we got that, we drilled the top coal, shoot it, then that got the middle rock lobbed or rolled or sent outside or whatever. Most of them put it in the rubber pile, on the each side of them. And yeah, that big rock fell right on me. It creeled it, the timber rolled it over my back. It hit me, it broke my pelvis bone in 3 different places. And broke my hip right there, and across through there. And it broke through one of my ribs going out through here. Well, they had me taped up like a mummy for a long time.
How long did you have to stay in the hospital?
Well, I stayed in there most of a month. Hospital before I got out and came home. They brought me home an ambulance. Had to have an ambulance bring me home, Then I went on crutches for a long time. On that before I got able to go back to work.
Now, did the mine take care of that, or did you have to take care of it?
No, mine did. See, they had compensation. I had to pay for that.
Now, will you work for a union mine then, or not?
Yeah, a union there.
Then after that, you couldn't get, you had to work non-union.
After that, yeah, I was too old to go to a union mine and get a job. This was hardly when you were 45.
So then you worked from then on. How long did you work? When did you quit working in the mines?
1970. Yeah, 1970. I came and did the best I can everywhere to get fixed up odd jobs. Until we came out here whenever Gene Mullett got together. He had this place up down here he owned. He wanted us to come out and live on his. So, free rent. That's how come it's out here. Come out here with that.
So now, going back, because I got to get up to that time. Going back to the, give everybody kind of an idea. When you were growing up, almost all the houses you live in, none of them they hadn't have running water or anything, did they?
None of them did. All in one. Let's see. One where most of those outside, had a spigot outside you got to go and get out there and get carried in.
How about electricity? Did some of them not have electricity?
Yeah, we had electricity up there.
Did they have electricity in all the houses you lived in?
Yeah, that was a company. See,
I'm talking about way back even in your childhood.
Oh no, we had to put oil in like that, cool all that.
That's kind of bad.
Then we come back to when we moved to Cheddar, when now they had electricity.
Now when was that?
1928.
Because up until that time, you had just oil lamps.
Oh yeah. No oil lamps. We got back up there then, well, we had this other kind of lights. It's kind of funny to see them, not being used enough like that. It's real funny. First train, I remember the first train I ever saw. That's when we came up on the train. And we got on, had to walk from where our place was, Fort Job, me and my mother, and my sister's gate. We walked across that hill, and down, come down to a place called Trip Siding down there. Walked over and there's a little whistle stop place where the train stops.
See you later.
Come back here.
Yeah, well, back to the See you
Is
later.
that car? Is that Carson?
Yeah.
James, tell him not to get killed though.
James.
He's a good man. He's welcome.
Oh yeah.
I gotta get home. I gotta work in the morning.
Yeah, I got work tonight.
Shoot.
Come back when you get ready, then.
I'll probably drop down one day next week when I'm off.
Okay.
Maybe run down. Get the phone
Okay.
See you later.
All right. Bye.
So where was we at?
I was trying to think. Talking about the oil lamps.
Oh yeah.
The
That lights was funny. Yeah, we
you talking about going on the
Yeah.
train?
First train come along. It was right close down, right close to it. That just about scared just kids to death. And there wasn't ever been around the train or seen one of them even. We on that train, we came to Chatterway and got off there, you see. And I don't remember how we got from there up to where we live, which was about a couple miles, 3.
We're talking. He's getting interviewed. He's getting a history interview here. What are you gonna do? You leaving? All right. So then how about what about the first time you can remember? You say you saw that train. What's the first time you remember seeing a plane?
Airplane? Well, we saw them pass there once in a while. We actually moved up to in Shuttle Hollow there. I was small. We could see them fly over there once in a while. Not too often, not too many.
Have you ever been on a plane?
Never was. I won't get on either. I could have went on one free. My dad, me and him went from up there where we lived in Chatterwell Hollow down to the airport down just below Chatterwell. There's a guy had a plane and he wanted my dad to go down there and he wanted to take him a ride in. And I went down there. I said, I'll wait right here on you. You come back when you want to. I'll be here with you. I wouldn't get on that plane neither. Never was on. I would expect to be on. Afraid of them.
Now your I was talking about your grandpa. When you say none of you can never remember any of your grandpa's age. Were they all coal miners too?
No, farmers.
Farmers.
Well, one of my grandpas, he was my dad's dad. He worked in the mines, but he didn't get killed. He died of natural death, I think, as far as I remember. But my other grandpa, he was a farmer. Grandpa Maynard, he was a farmer. And I can remember whenever he died. He used to come to our house lots of times before he died.
So pretty much, you think you figured on your family pretty much came to America probably in the about 1850s.
Way back there,
Because it would have been your great grandfather.
yeah, my dad.
You said he was born in 1880.
His grandfather, yeah.
So not his. It would have been your dad's
Yeah.
grandfather.
Yeah.
Okay, then it would have been probably earlier than that. It might have been in the 1820s. That
Way
sounds.
back there. Maybe
So they were in there a long time.
Maybe 1800. I don't know.
Right around there, 1800s. All right, the Mullets come, and then Mullett. Was it always spelled the way it is now?
No. It was spelled with an O. And my dad changed it because there's too many of them. See,
It was O and then O Mullett,
yeah.
which would have been Irish.
He wanted You know, he wanted changes, you know, making you put MU, because it's spelled with an O and a T, one T. M-O-L-L-E-T.
Oh, I don't. It wasn't O. I thought it meant O.
No,
It was M-O.
it might have been that one time. I don't know, but
So it's M-O-T, one T.
M-O-L-L-E-T.
That's
Yeah.
what I meant. L-E-T, just
Yeah.
one T.
But he changed it because there's so many around, you know,
Yeah.
to M-U-double-L-E-double-T, like that. He's one, I remember, he told us to change it.
And Mullett's is Irish.
That's Irish, yeah.
Irish and Scottish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my grandpa, he was a
Scotsman.
great doctor. 2-3 grandpas ago, I don't know.
The Irish are always supposed to be known for being big drinkers.
Who?
They're supposed to be drinkers.
Yeah, my dad never drank.
They didn't drink at all.
I never did drink none either.
Yeah, I was going to say, because that's what old Tip O'Neill and Reagan, they're both supposed to have Irish in them. Irish are always known for drinking.
They drank Irish whiskey.
Irish whiskey.
I know when we first came up here to Jasper, from Otis's place, went over there to Piketon to a place to have a light turned on, I believe it was, or a utilities. There's a guy over there by the name had gone down, and he asked me my name, told him. He said, I can tell you right now, you're a bloody Scotchman. That's what I am. I said, yeah, I'm part.
Okay, let's go. I think I was trying to think. We went back. Really, you went through the mines in 1970, and then in 1970 you moved to Ohio. You got out of the mines, and then you kind of worked. You worked at the school, did you?
I worked some school, yeah.
Yeah.
And I worked in Columbus. Worked at Ford Motor Company up there. They bought out. When my parents went to work, they bought out Ohio Tractor. And I worked there until they moved in out. They moved all everything out from Michigan. I come back.
You had to keep working all the time because you kept having kids, right?
Oh yeah. We didn't have no kids after about 30 some years ago we quit. Before we left Jasper, before we left Dayflight, we quit. Cheryl more than her, she's the youngest.
Yeah. About 20 years, or let's see, about 30 years?
Cheryl's about 32 of them.
Yeah, I'm saying about 30 years you had kids.
Oh yeah.
Had somebody around all the time.
Yeah. Always had somebody.
How about when you married Marthy, you guys didn't go on a honeymoon or anything? Right?
No, they didn't. Well, you couldn't afford one back then. You had to be worth something enough to do that. On a honeymoon.
There was no such thing, right?
Took our honeymoon in the cornfield, I guess, working. And we both worked in them.
I don't think of anything. That's pretty much our history-wise. That'll takes you from about the time you were born to.
Yeah.
What's the see, the first, I asked you that question, one of the first things you could possibly remember is being young.
I can remember one.
Do you have any regrets? I mean, do you wish you would have finished high school, or the high school didn't mean anything?
Yeah, I wanted to finish school, but couldn't. I wish it could, yeah.
It didn't really mean anything, though, did it? I mean, if you'd have been a high school graduate or not been, it wouldn't have made any difference, would it?
Not too much, no. You see, I took electronics school, and they told me that was equivalent of a high school. I mean, college, first year of college, what I took.
Now, that's the thing, World War II. Now, you didn't go into World War II because you got hurt or you had
Too many kids.
Too many kids.
Yeah.
What was the rule? I mean, what was the criteria there for children? If you had so many?
Yeah, and if you was working in mines, that was furnishing stuff for the war effort, and they could have you exempted. So that's what the superintendent of our mines did. The ones that he wanted to keep, he kept out of the war, kept us there. He said it was needed there as much as it was anywhere else to produce that coal from.
So you couldn't go into the military basically because the military needed the coal and the oil.
Yeah.
the full whatever for the military.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a time when, of course, there was gas rationing and everything else going on.
I got questionnaires when the war broke out. See, Bill and I didn't announce anything because they'd done already exempted everybody, you know, but if he wanted, they wanted exempted. I told him, he asked me if I wanted to be exempt. I said, well, no, I ain't no better than nobody else. He said, yeah, but we need you worse than anybody else around, though, because we're in a vital work like you're doing here. Running the coal mine machine, cutting machines.
Well, I don't have any other. How about you? Got any good stories or anything that you can remember that happened to you? What about your sisters? Did you fight with your brothers and sisters?
All the time. All the time, yeah. I was a boxer in school, too.
Did you?
I took class in school boxing, you know, and I was going. We had a class there. You got credits for that.
Yeah.
That's one reason I took it, boxing. I got the hell beat on me plenty of times. Of course, they couldn't hurt each other very bad. We had them great old, big old boxing gloves. I think about 16-ounce gloves, hitting each other when we slugging them. It's like hitting with a big pillar or something or other.
Of course, you grew up pretty much just playing with the sisters, I think, because your brother was gone.
Well, I had a lot of cousins and things.
Of course, you had everybody around the neighborhood.
Yeah, cousins. I had two sets of cousins lived pretty close to us when we moved to Chadwell Holler, you know. Of course, they fathered us there. No, they couldn't be much kids. My dad's sister, she had a big bunch. Angie Bowen, she had a lot of kids. We played with them. And my mother's sister, she lived also with, right? She had a big bunch of kids. That was younger than my mother. We played with them.
Well, you had the record amount. Anybody you know had more than you?
What?
Anybody had more kids than you? You had 14. How many? Anybody else do you know that?
We had 16.
We had two that.
We had two died with birth, you know, the morning.
16 births.
Yeah, but we,
Nobody else in your family had it. Your sister sure didn't have that many kids, did they?
oh no, and I didn't have a big family either. A lot of people, they were pretty much big people, big families. But see, there's only about 5 of us in my dad's family. None of us, I can remember, on my dad's side ever had a lot of kids. Most on their side.
What did you? Every time you looked at Martha, she got pregnant or what?
I think. Well, I think water had a lot to do with drinking the water up there or something like that.
Because she wasn't supposed to get pregnant that many times, wasn't it? She wasn't.
Wasn't supposed to, but she did though. They didn't have such thing as birth control people back then.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing. She got pregnant.
The doctor told her she wasn't going to have that many kids.
Huh?
Did the doctor say she wasn't going to have that many kids? She just kept having them.
Yeah, they told her not have them. She did anyhow though. She could do. Because there was no way they could, unless you operated on something like this. They didn't have no birth control back there. No way.
But it'd be kind of hard, and those people today that don't have any kids, it's kind of hard to imagine having a life without any kids.
Oh yeah. I like kids.
Most people today do the opposite. They have nobody.
I like kids.
That's what my dad always says. The thing that
Can't enjoy them all the time on account of my health, but I like kids.
my dad always says that once you get older, if you don't have any kids, he's around old people, retirement area. People that don't have any kids, they don't have anything to do.
Yeah, get old people when you get around where there's a bunch at, you
Have anything to do.
I guess it would get on their nerves.
Yeah, well, it gets boring too. You get older, you don't have any kids. There's nobody that cares about you.
No, that's right.
When at least you got kids. There's somebody always around. He's caring about you.
Now, like my wife's sister, like Geraldine, she lives out in Tennessee there. She never did have no kids. And she's been married before twice, Maybe twice, I think it is. Never had no kids, but neither one of them. She always said, Marcia was one that was lucky because she had them kids to look forward to. Somebody come and visit her and so forth.
Yeah.
But she had nobody.
And how many kids did your sisters have?
They didn't have very many. Let's see, my oldest sister, she had, I think she had 4. That's my oldest sister. Yeah, 4 kids. One of them died when she was, he was a pretty good size. And the other, she only had, well, she had about 4 or 5. They didn't have big families. None of them. And the one that lived, your baby one, my sister, she only had 3, I believe it was. But hers has got plenty of them now. Her brother lives up in Traintown there. Marcy's brother, he's got as many kids as we got right now, I guess. He got a swarm of them. I don't know his exact, he got 3 sets of twins.
Well, I'm gonna shut it off now. Shut it off.
His wife's still burning.